Hey guys, it's 2016. Happy New Year. And today, on New Year's Day, I'm going to explain to you my 4-step process for getting exactly the body that you want within the first half of this year. As you guys already know, I've recreated my body in the last year and a half twice. Okay, first of all, I took 4 months, lost over 30 pounds of fat, got very, very lean, ripped, and muscular. Then after that, I decided to go ahead and increase my muscle mass, increase my strength, while still staying very lean, okay? I did both of those things directly. I just made the decision and I went ahead and did it. It didn't take a whole lot of time to get very, very dramatic results. And I'm going to explain to you the 4-step process now that I used to do that. Okay, step number 1, decide who you want to look like, okay? Get a very specific person in mind of who you want to look like. Now, I know people talk about SMART goals. They're supposed to be specific, measurable, and so on. But I am not going to tell you to say I want to get a so-and-so inch waist or a so-and-so inch bicep. I'm even not going to tell you that, you should make a goal like I want to get up to X number of repetitions in the pull-up or bench press or whatever, okay? I just want you to, in the first step, to go ahead and decide who you want to look like, okay? Now, I'll tell you, the first transformation where I got very lean and ripped, what I did is I wanted to be like Rain, the guy who was in the movie Ninja Assassin. Then after that, I decided I was a little bit too small, so I wanted to go ahead and look like Stefan Arnell, who played the lead role in the show The Arrow. Now, step number 2, do not create a training program to make you look like this person. Create yourself a training program to train you to be able to do whatever your role model does, okay? For instance, I didn't go ahead and do a whole lot of long distance running to lose that weight to look like a ninja assassin. Because let's think about it, okay? Long distance running, who does long distance running? Marathon runners. Look at a marathon runner, okay? If you want to run 26 miles in a row, that's awesome. I respect it. But look at a marathon runner. Is that really what you want to look like? What I decided to do was like say, hey, how would I train to not look like a ninja assassin, but to become a ninja assassin? How would I train to have the endurance to chase somebody down, jump if I have to over obstacles, be very explosive, and just like sprint, chase a person down, and then have the endurance to kick his ass after I chased him down, okay? And I ended up with basically, interval training for very short intervals using a lot of body weight. Jumping, okay, plyometrics, burpees, jump rope intervals, okay? To work my ass off for a short amount of time, take a tiny break, do it again, take a tiny break, do it again, and just work with my own body weight. And because of that, I became a very explosive person who has this short burst and endurance where I could go ahead and do it again and again and again, okay? Now, like I said, I lost a lot of weight, but it wasn't because I trained as a marathon runner, because most people would say, well, I want to lose weight. How do I train? Run long distances. No, you're going to look like a marathon runner. If you want to look like a sprinter, train like a sprinter, okay? So that's what I suggest you do. Another thing that I did basically to become this, this Arrow guy, this vigilante who does parkour and who's in all kinds of awesome physical condition where he could climb and jump, I did a similar thing. I'm like, well, how do I do this? Well, let's see. I did a lot of ring dips. I did a lot of ring push-ups. I did a lot of jumping exercises, not necessarily for endurance like I did when I was training to get the Ninja Assassin physique, but I would do power movements where I do like a couple broad jumps or a couple high jumps, tuck jumps, okay? Pull-ups and chin-ups, body weight rows. I basically went ahead and was like, listen, if I want to be the kind of person, who could just sneak around in the middle of the night, climb up a wall, climb in a window, still be able to run and jump and chase people down? How do I do this? Okay. And that's basically the training that I came up with. I didn't say like, well, the guy's got a big chest, so let me do some, bench press, which doesn't really transfer off very well into the real world. But the unstable nature of ring push-ups, ring dips, and stuff like that will build up a chest and at the same time build up the total body athleticism. Okay. Step number 3, eat just enough to support that goal. Okay. You always want to lose weight basically. Okay. Unless you want to be like a power lifter who's just, huge and got a little bit of a gut, which is fine if that's what you're looking for. But I always want to be relatively lean or very lean. Okay. So what I did is I just fed myself barely enough to improve my workouts. What I'm saying here is do not do what most people say, which is basically, lowering their calories as they're on a diet, eating so many calories so you lose so many pounds a week, and then eating fewer calories if you plateau and you stop losing weight. I actually increased when I got very ripped, when I got very lean for the Ninja Assassin physique. I increased my calories the whole time because I was increasing the intensity of my workouts, the difficulties of the exercises, and I needed more and more food. Okay. The same thing when I was doing the body weight exercises. I started off eating high fat, low carbs, just basically a lot of fat and a lot of protein twice a day. I had to eat more and more and more because my body was telling me I needed more food to support my training. And like I said, compare that to the people who basically eat not for performance, but to look good, okay? So they would actually have hunger, their lifts would suffer, they get worse and weaker in the gym, their endurance would suffer. With me, I would rather eat a little bit more, and because of that, be able to do more repetitions, more powerful movements, or have better endurance in the gym, and because of that, I'm getting in better shape, okay? You should never regress, at least not the way that I train people. Now, the 4th step is do not use your appearance, do not use your body measurements or your weight as a means of determining your progress and how you should adjust your workouts or your diet. Use your performance, okay? When I trained to get the very lean, shredded physique, like the Ninja Assassin physique, I didn't measure anything. I barely weighed myself except for in the beginning and the end of the program, okay? I did not do it on a weekly basis. All I did was make sure, am I increasing my plyometrics, my burpees, my jump rope intervals? Am I getting stronger? Am I getting better? If yes, then that's good. Okay, that's all I need to know. The same thing with when I was working to get more muscular, okay? I did measure, my arms, chest, legs, whatever, my weight, but I really didn't pay any attention to it. It was just, am I getting stronger in the gym or not? If I'm getting stronger in the gym, that's all I need to know, okay? And like I said, because what you're doing is you are reverse engineering this. You're not looking like, well, how can I look like a person? How do I train to look like this person, okay? You're saying, how can I perform like this person? And once again, if you perform like a person, okay, and if you feed yourself just barely enough to fuel your workouts, a little bit more to recover from your workouts, then you will by default look like that person. Like I said, Ninja Assassin looks like a guy who could just chase a person across the street, just jump over obstacles and find him and hunt him down and then have enough energy to beat his ass. So if I trained to do that, I would by default have the body that looks like that, okay? If I want to look like somebody who can just climb, and run and jump over objects like, the Green Arrow, well, hey, you know what? If I train to be able to do that, I will by default look like that. And like I said, that's exactly what happened to me training for both of these physiques. Try this 4-step process and let me know if you do not, in the first half of 2016, get exactly the physique that you want.